that's slightly losing and pull off a win. I don't think we're going to get to a point where it's like, yo, what is this team doing? And even if they pick something crazy, I think there's a plan behind it. But finally, ladies and gentlemen, we're jumping into draft number 1 in a best of 5 at the Games of Future Mobile Legends Grand Finals. AP BREN up against ONIC, and they are quick with it. The Joy ban and the Ruby ban from AP BREN, and the Matilda ban from ONIC.
Yeah, and okay, the Phoveus ban, interesting. One thing that we just want to keep an eye out for, right, is that if AP BREN doesn't ban the Guinevere, but and ONIC lets it go through, then AP BREN is trying to build the Guinevere into this current setup. So I feel like that's the biggest thing to keep an eye out for, is that in the draft or in the ban phase, AP BREN does plan out to bait. And I love that. I love that from a team. I feel like that is what we should see. And they definitely take their time on deciding. I mean, right now they could decide to ban the Guinevere, not even go for it. So there it is.
ONIC
they did.
Bans the Nolan.
Yeah.
ONIC bans
Possibly.
the Phoveus got changed. It's actually a Fermi's ban. They changed the they changed the ban on it.
I was like, huh?
Must have been, I mean, Fermis, Phoveus, I could see the mess up, right? Like, it's like you hear something, it's like, they banned this. I think with the Guinevere being banned now, ONIC probably goes for the Nolan band. Maybe they leave it open, and that could be the start of, we were talking about baits and everything. Definitely a possibility there. Go for something where you let them have it, and then we pick up the Hilda or something very aggressive to enter your jungle with. So yeah, a lot of things. I was actually wondering, would AP... no, the Phoveus does end up getting banned here, which is kind of funny. Is that another mess up, or was that like future sight? What's going on? AP BREN is going to lock in the Nolan immediately. Did ONIC not think that, like, they ban out the Phoveus and give them the Nolan? Do they lock in the Wan up front here? I'm wondering, what's the plan here?
It could be any situation here, right? I mean, there's plenty of heroes that could be available for that. I mean, again, first pick into a Nolan. I feel like they should go open. Some type of I was about to say like a utility, a tankier hero, because you definitely don't want to be that one person that gets one tapped by the Nolan. So, I think the Wan would be one of those heroes that would get one-tapped by the Nolan. So I like it, okay? The Navaria could, I mean, again, you're going to definitely have to overextend to be able to meet and reach the Navaria. And then Arlott. I like Arlott as well. A very utility-type hero. Allows you to scale, allows you to set the team. So it gives ONIC the potential to, scale and control some of the team fights. But AP BREN clapping back with the Minnow, which I like as well. They definitely picked that up a few times, and the Minnow does have a really good win rate right now.
And the Harith into the gold lane there.
Oh, God.
I mean, there's like the small possibility that it could be flexed. But still, this is what I meant, man. We're already seeing, it's such a different draft than what you would see from any other teams in the bracket. ONIC going to lock in the Fredrin here. So it looks like they are going to go the utility route. Something to deal with the Nolan. The Phoveus was banned out. So I'm still kind of predicting maybe we see Albert on the Wan. You do have range. You do have something that can kind of still poke lanes and kind of deal with the range of the Harith. Because one of the problems with the Harith is he has great poke. He has good wave clear in the early game to deal with a lot of marksmen. So that's, I mean, I'm just wondering, like, when I see the Phoveus ban, I got to think their plan was to pick something dashy here, unless they were just anticipating or testing the waters to see if AP BREN would go for the Nolan. It's like, we're going to make that pick look so juicy for you. We're going to ban the Phoveus and leave Nolan open. It's like, there has to be a plan here for, like, an idea here to either be aggressive, get into their jungle, something like that.
Yeah, and I mean, the Claude is still a viable pick as well. The Wan could definitely scale as well. But again, I feel like we could see a Claude pop up here, right? And then not only that, I mean, we've seen AP BREN pull out a Beatrix. I mean, to be honest, like the marksman route is just so flexible when it comes to AP BREN. It could just be anything, right? Right now, I think we should kind of focus on the EXP, right? Like, what could they possibly go that would be a decent EXP? And I mean, you still have the CC available, which is great sustain, as well as you still, I mean, we could see a Benedetta. I mean, we could still see a Paquito. I feel like something that's going to get into that back line to reach the Navaria.
They take a lot away from Flapteezy here. No Xborg, no Fovius, no Thamus. They pick up the R-Lot. The Lapu is still open. Clint Ban comes from AP BREN. I think Lapu could we know that AP BREN has kind of fallen to that pick before. It's definitely something we could see Flapteezy pick up here. The Paquito is also still open. So definitely still plenty of options for AP BREN. And both of those picks kind of give what you were talking about, getting into the back line, ways to target down onto Sans, who's going to be on this Novaria most likely.
Yeah. So seeing what ONIC's going to pick up here, the CC. Okay. All right. I like it.
So it's going to be a Rome R-Lot.
Yeah. Yep. I mean, the R-Lot in the Rome position is probably the key right now. And again, but I think AP BREN's kind of got that in the bag. It's going to definitely be, it's going to come down to strategic positioning here, right? We're going to have to see the R-Lot just be in those key places to be able to catch the Nolan, to catch the Harith, right? And what?
Glue.
Yo,
Glue boy.
first time in the tournament?
First time. Here's a pocket pick. Is it something that they think can deal with the CC here? How's it going to be able to handle it? It's another one that can also kind of get to the back line, cause mayhem. I'm not completely against it. I'm kind of a fan of the glue. I'm kind of sad that it fell off the meta. I think it's an interesting pick. And now there's your Claude. Going to be locked in for ONIC. Vexana for the side of AP BREN. It's only game one and the draft is already interesting, and we thought nothing less of these two teams who are never scared to pick something a little bit outside of the meta.
This is awesome, right? This is what I was saying. Like, the teams probably have that, like, the rabbit in the hat, and maybe it's glue. Maybe it's like no one's ever tried him. Maybe he's going to absolutely dominate in the Land of Dawn, and if anybody can do it, it's going to be AP BREN, right? Again, we're going to be getting into it. I'll let you lead the way, Trex.
All right, Games of Future Grand Finals for Mobile Legends is about to begin. We're about to hop through the portal into the Land of Dawn to start off the rematch, the revenge match, the grudge match between AP BREN and ONIC Esports.
All right, kind of getting into this, the nitty and gritty here. I really want to focus on this glue pick, right? Like, what is it going to really establish here? And I think what it's going to do is really, like, kind of like what you were saying, being able to split, get into that back line, and be able to displace some of ONIC at this point. Now, ONIC, I love the early aggression, kind of keeping Super Marco at bay. But again, I mean, that's just them poking and probbing at this point. One thing also at the very end, AP picked up this Vexana. Could be a key factor into, you know, the solid CC that they needed. It does seem like AP BREN wants to control quite a bit of the team fights. Now, coming from on the side of ONIC, right? Like, again, just building off of what I said in the draft phase, I feel like the R-Lot's going to have to really rely on key positioning in order to, you know, make plays for ONIC, because it's going to be a little difficult as the team is just, they're quick people. You got the Nolan, you got the Harith. Like, you're going to have to catch them off guard.
I think it's definitely going to be a battle of wills here. I'm excited to see this EXP lane as well, man. Like, how is Boots? I think, obviously, CC, one of the most dominant EXP laners in the game, should kind of get the better hand of Flapteezy in the beginning. But if Flapteezy can scale, even though Glue is kind of an out-of-meta hero right now, one of the reasons being is it takes a little bit too much time to get on the map. Kyle Teasy as well on this Nolan. Once it gets the first item locked in, if he goes for something like the Blade of Hepates, we're going to see some big damage. So Albert's going to have to be careful. The rest of the team is going to have to be careful. And oh, look at the damage. A big Terrify Keyboy in a little bit of trouble here. Able to dash back. They're unable to find the kill, but we're already seeing the possibilities from Few and Ogwyn.
Yeah, and again, right now it's everybody's game, right? I mean, the first turtle is not going to make or break a team, but it does look like both teams want to fight for it.
San's going to get involved here. Kyle Teasy starting up on the lore, but a big stun onto Keyboy and Kyrie. Kyrie unable to make it in. The grab the slam, and Flap Teasy already causing mayhem in the back line. That's the first turtle. Kyle Teasy will be able to secure it. Kyrie doing a little bit too much damage. Flap Teasy might be too deep. Nice immobilized onto two members. Boots trying to steer him away, but now Kyle Teasy making the move onto the purple buff and going to steal that away.
You know, I wasn't really even thinking about this, right? Like, they're going to collapse on Boots, though.
Boots in trouble, getting knocked up, taken out. Flap Teasy picking up the kill.
All right, back to my thought, right? So the glue, what AP BREN is utilizing the glue for right now is to control the neutral, the split and jump onto Kyrie, and if they can control Kyrie, they can control the game. I feel like that is their ultimate strategic plan right now, and we'll see if they'll be able to bring it to fruition.
Oh, and not to mention they really a lot of damage on Boots there. Boots gonna go down. AP BREN leading 3-0 right now. 2,000 gold lead, almost a 3,000 gold lead at this point. AP BREN is stomping in the land of Dawn. We've seen ONIC in this position before, though. But what they're going to need to try to turn things around is some big sets, some big plays. Albert still in the game, hasn't gone down, but with AP BREN taking away that tier 3 this early, Flap Teasy's going to be able to move around the map so much more.
Yeah, the CC is having such a tough time with the glue, the sustainability that he brings. They've already taken all the gold plating and the tower, which is what really is scaling them right now. If AP is able to keep this up, ONIC is going to have to find a response. And I feel like, again, the response is going to come down to Keyboy's positioning, and we can already see the burn from Kyle Teasy.
No. That's disgusting, bro. This is looking a little rough. It's 4-0, 4,000 gold lead, 4.5 minutes in. That's about 1,000 gold a minute right now for AP BREN. ONIC unable to even get close to him.
Ogwyn, just look at the micro steps that he's doing here. They're gonna roam up and they're gonna take all of the gold plating off this tower and probably the tower itself. This is huge for AP BREN. ONIC, they have to find responses somewhere, and there's no jungle left. Man, again, it could be anybody's game, but the snowball effect is definitely in place for AP BREN.
Yeah, this is the BREN effect at its prime right now.
BREN effect, huh?
The BREN effect, man. And they're just, I mean, it's like, because here's the thing, they can always switch it up, man. They can either completely dominate you in laning phase, or they can take a slow approach. They are the best of both worlds. They have the discipline of the Philippines, but the aggression of several other hungry regions out there. They're willing to take things slow if they need to, or they're willing to be in your face at all times, and you just never know what AP BREN you're gonna get.
It is true. It is true. I mean, they definitely bring out the difference in a game. We can kind of take a look at some of the items. A Hunter Strike already secured by Kyle Teasy, looking for that speed, just controlling the overall jungle. And you can see that he was looking for that purple buff, but looking for a kill. Did he get it? He did.
Yeah, no purple for Kyrie.
Oh man, this is just going downhill for ONIC. I think they're gonna have to find some type of breathing room, but will AP BREN give them that breathing room? And it doesn't look like it right now.
I mean, one good thing going for ONIC right now is Albert and Sans have not taken a death yet. Yes, there's 2 kills on the Boots. Not huge. We've seen CC still scale, even with a few deaths on it. And 2 on to Keyboy. So Kyrie, Albert, or Sans, if they can keep up this pace, they can kind of slow play this and look for an opening later on. But it's going to be a little while until we see Sans or Albert really get the items they need in.
Yeah, and I mean, that snowball effect is just in place now. AP BREN are staying together. So again, I think ONIC's going to have to just kind of give up some of these neutral objectives. And if they don't, then they're going to give up their life. So we'll see. Again, building off of what you were saying, Albert not dying is still a good thing. You got 4,600 gold versus 5,600 gold, 1,000 gold difference between the gold lanes, and the Hearth is just only going to scale from this point onwards. You only can see a corrosive scythe being picked up by Albert, and to be honest, everybody is lacking items. Everybody's just got like pieces right now on the side of ONIC. They're
getting what they can right now. That's about it.
That's what I'm saying. They're just, it's like a puzzle piece. They're trying to put something together, but we'll have to wait until about the 10 to 11 minute mark for it to finally come together.
I mean, Boots had to take a slower pace, went for the Dreadnought first, got the breastplate in, just got the War Axe in. Albert looking like he's going to finish the DHS soon, so that's good. He'll have the Corrosion, he'll have the DHS, then it's just on your way to the Wand. He could maybe switch up and go for Wand first, but I think he's going to lock in DHS before that. We'll see. He had the Vampiric Mallet or whatever it is in. So both, I mean, they're definitely on the slow pace. Sans has the book in. Not going to really give damage yet. They definitely need another item in. And by the time they get that item in, AP BREN will already have their third in. So, I mean, it's a little bit of trouble, but Ogwyn taking a little bit of damage, going to get pushed back. Flapteezy unable to make the advance. Everybody locking on. Albert able to get a couple free shots in. Flapteezy still gets away, but look at Kyle Teasy on to Boots. Boots able to just survive. AP BREN not able to cause the damage they wanted to. ONIC able to turtle up very well.
Definitely, and the first Lord coming down. I feel like this could be a turning point that if they could possibly do something, but ONIC utilized quite a bit of their utility right now. Sans the only one that really doesn't have an ultimate at this point, and they might just try to bait it here. You can already see the discipline coming from AP BREN. They're controlling the lanes before attempting to take the Lord. Trying to get vision here. ONIC might attempt to try. We'll see Keyboy trying to keep them at bay. Lord just smoothly falling into AP's hands.
Oh my God, Keyboy in a little bit of trouble. Gonna get grab, and slam down. Kyle Teasy able to pick up another kill. 3-0 in 1. Nolan's on fire right now. AP BREN takes the Lord. ONIC just biding time at this point.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of rough, right? ONIC, what do they really need to do? I feel like they have the ability, they have the heroes needed to mount up a defense here, and I feel like that is what they need to do. Again, they're playing passive, not losing the key. The Claude's not going down. Albert staying alive. Kyrie staying alive. Again, the only person that's fallen has been Boots. But again, they're going to have to get some type of kill here as it's 5-0 and the gold lead is just, it's just going up from here.
Yeah, good call by Sans there. Sends a Meteor to check that bush and finds Kyle Teasy, forcing him back a little bit. Flapteezy under the towers, though, taking a lot of hits to the face. Okay. A lot of damage on Ogwyn as well. ONIC now to defense of the Appraiser's Wrath. Finally puts a kill on the map for ONIC. Albert into the back line with a blazing duet, looking for Super Marco. Super Marco drops him on Force, able to also get some more poke off, but ONIC does defend without losing an inhibitor.
This is what I was saying, right? Like ONIC, they have the heroes needed to defend, right? They're just really late game. They have the Claude late game, Navaria late game. So again, they just got to keep the pressure up, but not get too overzealous, right? Don't be diving. You can already see that Albert's got 3 items now. The glowing, the golden staff, the corrosive scythe, and the demon hunter. So gonna be destroying some of the tankiness that AP BREN brings. And then look again, Sans just hitting shots left and right. Super Marco falling a little bit low, but again, AP BREN just has the sustainability to just be there. makes a major factor into play.
The real problem is definitely going to be Keyboy here. He's very behind. About 30.
Oh. All right. So kind of looking at what's going on here, we can kind of see that AP BREN again wants just feeling ONIC out, seeing if ONIC can keep up with them. They know that they have the damage at this point. We'll see. They want the red buff. Could be a little bit of a go here. Albert trying to possibly get it. Kyrie able to steal the red buff here.
Up.
AP now actively backing up.
Yeah, nice plays from over the side onto ONIC here. Like I said, Keyboy is very behind on items. He's not able to hold the front line like the rest of the team, but ONIC still mounting a good defense. But wait, Ogwin into the backside, causing a lot of damage. Super Marco as well, drops the Mons for Sans, able to find one. Kyrie drops Ogwin as well. Boots gonna be the next on the chopping block. We'll see if they can do it. This is gonna give Lord over to the side of AP BREN. ONIC, without a retribution on the field, will not be able to contest this.
They're just melting this Lord at this point. AP BREN going to utilize this Lord to siege once again. But, I mean, we are getting into the 14-minute mark. We can see a Wind of Nature being picked up by Albert. Could be a saving grace at this point. Navaria has the burn, has the damage, and we can kind of see CC picking up the War Axe as well. So they are gearing up. They are getting the equipment that they need to counter AP BREN. So it's just a matter of that AP BREN has just put so much pressure onto ONIC. Can they keep this defense up? Can they keep their castle alive?
I mean, if any team can defend with a 12,000 gold deficit, it's definitely ONIC. But I don't think AP BREN wants to let it happen. Keyboy falls. Kyrie might just be the next. Kyle Teasy able to pick up the kill. Albert with a blazing duet, able to lock on a little bit of damage, clear the waves with the Lord still coming on the top side. AP BREN gonna try to mount the attack to a different angle. Flap Teasy taking a couple shots to the face, but he's okay. Kyle Teasy onto the backside. Lord finally connects. Boots immediately destroyed along with the rest of the team, and AP BREN takes game number 1.
Definitely quite the game. I can't believe they just ended with that one siege, though. AP BREN taking game 1. We see this again. AP BREN was very disciplined and controlled a bit of the map there, Trex. A bit, the whole map.
I think, I mean, I have to say that I think ONIC has to think twice about letting the Nolan through. I think, and ONIC is known to kind of test the waters game 1, but I think this is not the time to do it. This is not a best of 7. This is not a huge thing. They banned out the Phobius. They let the Nolan through, and they just had no answer to it. Kyle Teasy was a monster on it. I mean, just completely tearing them apart. And with the pace that AP BREN brought, ONIC was unable to do anything about it. Most definitely. I mean, just overall, they did a great job. ONIC taking a look at some of these replays. AP BREN completely controlling the pace. And even at around 10 minutes, when ONIC did start to put up some fights here and there, it still was not enough. They needed definitely another 10 minutes or more to be able to compete here. They needed a lot more time to be able to even make it, G.
Definitely. And I mean, we could just see ONIC trying to hold on with every grasp that they possibly could into this game. Well, I just feel like the major factor was that the glue just came in clutch so much for AP BREN. And you can just see they again, the R-Lot, Keyboy did try to make some key plays, but it just wasn't there as AP BREN was just scaling and snowballing. This was another take right here. They were just not allowing Kyrie to get the buffs that he was needed. And then look, the split, just too much for ONIC at this point. And then this would have been the final siege, if I'm not mistaken. God, look at that.
The layers of CC there, the layers of crowd control there, with Few bringing in the Guardian, getting the big knockup, then Ogwin getting the Minoan's Fury. ONIC did not have an answer to all that. And because they fell behind, it was just far too much. They did a valiant effort at defending it, but AP BREN, the BREN effect strikes, and there just wasn't a way in. It's nighttime now in the digital arena, but the bots are still watching. If you guys are out there at all watching, big shout out to all of you. Let's take a look at the MVP. Flap TZ 1-0-9 on a glue.
Hey, again, 47% of his team damage, or the damage taken, which is crazy. So not only was he the DPS, he was also the tank. So he was just, again, the glue just came in clutch. I mean, it kind of countered the CC. Like the CC, it split the damage between a lot of the minions. It was just overall such a wild pick, but actually came into clutch. Could have been something they were just planning. Like I said, if there's any moment, the grand finals is the moment you pull out all the stops. There's a lot of money on the line. Flap TZ going ham.
Yeah, I mean, and it works similar to what the Ruby brings in a sense. It's not like it's not like a hard backline diver, but it can hold the front. And something like a, with Kyrie on this Fredrin, something like that wants to walk in, it makes it very tough. And we saw it at the very first turtle. Kyrie was not able to get an angle. He was over by the tri-bush. Flap TZ's there waiting for him, getting the stun, then the grab, and just completely denied Kyrie from being able to get into range of even using a retribution.
Yeah, and I mean, this just goes to show that just Flap TZ is just so diverse. I mean, we can see some of the kills. It was like 12-2. Just ONIC was just not able to get too much. We can kind of look at Super Marco and Sans here, 2-0-7 versus 0-4-1, and the gold lead was just astronomical. It was just Super Marco was on the rise, and I felt like that they just got so many key picks.